Good morning everyone and welcome to chemistry class. Today I am going to start our new chapter of chemistry, that is periodic classification of elements. In class 9th we have studied that matter around us is present in form of elements, compounds and mixtures. And each element is made up of one kind of atoms. Around the year 1800, only 30 elements were known, and by the year 1865, the number of elements known went up to 63, and at present as many as 118 elements are known. As more and more elements were being discovered, scientists gathered more and more information about their properties. So, it became difficult to study and remember the properties of each element. And to overcome this problem, scientists started looking for some pattern in their properties on the basis of which they can classify all the known elements to make their study easier. And the arranging of elements into different groups on the basis of similarities in their properties is called classification of elements. And in this way, the study of large number of elements is reduced to the study of a few groups of elements. This is the reason for the periodic classification of elements. Okay, now I am going to describe the various attempts which have been made to classify the elements from time to time. And we all know that symmetry and organization are the basic principle of nature. For example, all the living beings can be classified on the basis of their properties. Similarly, all the things in our homes are organized in drawing room, bedrooms and kitchen. Likewise, in a shop, soaps are kept together at one place and biscuits and other bakery items are placed at some other place. Even among soaps, bathing soaps are placed separately from detergents and washing soaps. In a similar way, scientists made several attempts to classify the elements according to their properties so as to find out an order out of chaos of knowledge. And the early attempts to classify the elements was made by Lavoisier, who divided the non-elements into the two broad groups, metals and non-metals, in order to study their acidic and basic properties. But this classification was not enough. Now let's start with Dobner triads. In 1817, Dobner, a German chemist, tried to arrange the elements with similar properties into groups. He identified certain groups of three elements. These groups of three elements having similar properties were called Dobner triads after his name. He further observed that when three elements of any particular triad were arranged in order of their increasing atomic masses, the atomic mass of the middle element was roughly the mean or the average of atomic masses of other two elements. In fact, Dobner was the first scientist who showed a relationship between the properties of the elements and their atomic masses. And the idea of Dobner triads would be more clear from the examples. The three elements lithium, sodium and potassium having similar chemical properties constitute a Dobner triad because the atomic mass of the middle element sodium is the average of the atomic mass of lithium and potassium. Okay, and lithium and sodium and potassium are collectively called alkali metals because they all react with water to form alkalis. Similarly, the three elements calcium, strontium, calcium, strontium and barium have similar properties. These elements also form a Dobner triad because the atomic mass of the middle element Dobner of the middle element strontium is 88, which is very near or similar to the average of the atomic masses of calcium and barium. Okay, so these also constitute the Dobner. They are also called as Dobner's triad. Similarly, other three. Let's take another example: chlorine, bromine, and iodine have similar properties. These elements constitute another Dobner triads because the atomic mass of the middle element bromine is 79.9, which is roughly the average atomic mass of the chlorine and iodine. The average atomic mass of the bromine is nearly the average of the atomic masses of iodine and chlorine. Okay, and these elements are known as halogens. Now let's discuss the limitations of Dobner's classification. It failed to arrange all the non-elements in the form of triads of elements having similar chemical properties. Dobner could identify only three triads from the elements known at that time, so his classification of elements was not much successful. Thank you, students, and have a nice day.